Game day is here, Sun Devil fans. We finally made it, and we're here to preview ASU versus Wyoming.
You are Locked On Sun Devils, your daily podcast on the Arizona State Sun Devils. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to the Locked On Sun Devils podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name is Richie Bradshaw, and I will be your guide for everything Arizona State Sun Devils. A shout out to my everydayers who are here every day, and thanks for making us your first listen of the day. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications wherever you're getting your shows. Stay in touch by following me on Twitter at RichieBrads36 and the podcast at LO_Sun Devils. If you have not hit subscribe on YouTube yet, do me a favor and help us get to 1,000 subscribers. We are right there, and we're trying to find a way to celebrate together as a channel for when we do finally hit that milestone together. Today's episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. 5 Hour Energy fixes tired fast with zero sugar and a convenient portable size. It's the perfect pick-me-up for getting stuff done. Go to 5hourenergy.com. Use the promo code LOCKEDONCFB for 20% off your order. This is only valid until September 30th on one order, cannot be used with other promotions. Go to 5hourenergy.com today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back in. Today, it's game day, and it is a very exciting game day. We have been waiting for this moment for quite a while. We are in year 2 of Kenny Dillingham. This is a really new roster, new quarterback, new receiver 1, new tight end 1, new look offensive line, the return of Brian Ward's defense for year 2. This is a team to be excited about. And I have been very high on this team. I have said previously, I think this team is going bowling this year. I do think ASU is going to be a 6-6 football team this year. Hopefully a little bit better, but it starts with beating Wyoming. And that's what we're here to talk about today. We're going to talk about everything you need to know, from the offensive side of the football to the defensive side of the football. We're going to talk about players to watch. We're going to make some bold predictions. And then I have got a final score prediction that we'll get to at the very end of the podcast. Real quick, I do want to bring attention. If you guys are looking for great new apparel for the season, you need to check out Home Field. They have the best stuff in the world. It's vintage. It's stuff that you can't find anywhere else. I've got a promo code for them later in the show, so make sure that you guys are tuning into that. It's the best. I've got my stuff on order. I can't wait to show you guys what I was able to get. Let's dive into this bad boy, though. We're going to start with the offensive side of the football, where ASU has a lot of questions. Jaden Rashada is gone. Elijah Badger is gone. Jalen Conyers is gone. There's a lot new to this offense, and it starts with Sam Leavitt, the redshirt freshman quarterback, the guy who beat out Jaden Rashada. This feels like a really good Kenny Dillingham kind of quarterback. He can make the throws. He's mobile, so he's able to make the off-script stuff. I don't know if he's going to run for 1,000 yards, but he's able to get out of the pocket. He looks like someone that could be your Bo Nix for this offense. I'm not comparing him to Bo Nix. I'm saying in a perfect world, he's that kind of quarterback for you. And this is also a team that is going to be built on the run game. This is a team that really should be able to rely on a ground and pound attack. You've got 6 running backs back here: Cameron Scadaboo, Alton McCaskill, Raleek Brown, DeCarlos Brooks, Jason Brown, and Kyson Brown, in no order. They should be able to just pound the rock this year. And that's the direction that I want to see them go, especially in week 1. I want you to establish this is going to be a run-heavy team this year. This is the way you're going to win football games, in my opinion, is by pounding teams into submission, making the offense as simple as possible for a redshirt freshman quarterback with 3 games worth of experience, or 4 games worth of experience. You need to shrink the offense, make it as simple as possible, at least at the beginning of the year, and allow him to get a rhythm, get him comfortable, and, take it from there. See if you can start to really open things up. And maybe the passing game is something that can become a dynamic aspect of the offense. But for now, and hopefully the year, again, I'm really big on this run game. I want to see you just pound the rock. Now, I'm also really curious who stands out in the passing game. Something I want to address. I was not at training camp this year. Unfortunately, I had a lot of stuff going on with my day job. So when it came out that Xavier Guillory is wide receiver 1, that took me by surprise. Like, totally transparent with you guys. I didn't know. I was not able to get in contact with people. I was super duper busy this year. So my apologies for missing out on Xavier Guillory. Is he going to be able to be wide receiver 1 this year? Last year, he started the year as wide receiver 2. There was a lot of great plays from him. He's able to get down the field. He's explosive. He's one of your deep threats for this team. If he's able to put together a consistent 2024 season, I like Xavier Guillory. I just was not expecting him to be this high on the depth chart. Again, just completely transparent and totally owning it. I was not expecting it. I'm still nonetheless excited for him. I also think that you got some other guys in the passing game. I'm still big on Troy O'Mary. I'm still huge on Jordan Tyson. I think this is going to be a big year for Melcon Stovall as well. Who stands out in the passing game? That's what I'm really curious about. How involved is the tight end? Is Shimon Mateer, is Marqueston Douglas going to have big roles this year? We're going to wait and see. Defensively, I think the biggest question is, how are you going to adjust to 2 big injuries? You're missing Prince Dorbaugh for at least the first 3 to 4 weeks of the year, I believe. And then Tate Romney broke his forearm. He's out at least 8 weeks. Those were 2 of your most pivotal players from last year. Dorbaugh tied for the team lead in sacks. Tate Romney was top 5 in tackles. Good news, you've got some really good options to step up for them. Clayton Smith at defensive end, someone that I have said before, I think is going to flirt with double-digit sacks this year. This is a future NFL player, ridiculously talented guy. How does he look in week 1? He blew up in the second half of last year. I'm looking forward to see if he can pick up where he left off. At linebacker, you've got Keyshawn Elliott coming in. Elliott should be able to step into that Trey Brown role as your veteran linebacker, hopefully someone that can quarterback the defense. He's also someone that has some potential to just make plays, like passing game, pass rushing. There's all sorts of stuff that he brings to the table that makes him a candidate to really blow up this year. You got Cyrus Fiaseu. You've got Jordan Crook at linebacker as well. Caleb McCullough. There's options here at linebacker. I'm just curious how everything ends up shaking out for this team, but it's going to start with Keyshawn Elliott and his ability to step up and be the leader in the middle of the field. Safety depth. We have talked a lot about this. They have an insane amount of options that they can go to. It's so deep that they ended up moving Shamari Simmons to the nickel spot. He was your starting free safety last year. He was your leading tackler last year. They're so deep at safety that they are looking at him as your nickel over Cole Martin, someone that I have really been pumping up this offseason. How does the secondary shake out? Xavier Alford is back. They've got Ghost Rouser is the other starting safety across from him. Kamari Wilson is back there. Montana Warren is back there. There's no shortage of superstar potential in the secondary. And I mean that, superstar potential. There are some legitimate dogs back there. How's it end up shaking out? That's one of the biggest storylines for me. How does the safety position end up looking for ASU this year? It starts in week 1. I also want to bring attention before we transition to the players to watch. There are a handful of guys who either missed all of last year or missed a good chunk of last year. 4 guys who I'm really interested to see how they factor in this year, how they look in week 1. Emmett Bully ended up getting the starting gig at left tackle. How is he going to look moving from the right side to the left side, being your blind side protector? That's one of the biggest storylines along the offensive line for me. Ben Coleman, someone who did not get to play last year, a former All Pac-12 player when he was at Cal. He's going to be your starting left guard. How does he look? Jake Smith at wide receiver. He is second string right now. I don't know how big the role is going to be for him to start the year, but he's a really talented player. He's a good route runner. He's got good hands. He's going to get on the field this year. How does he end up looking? And then Xavier Alford, already talked about him, friend of the podcast. He is starting. He is your starting strong safety. He's got turnover potential. He's a beast. How does he end up looking? How big is the role for him to start the year? Is there going to be a lot of safety rotation? Is he going to be on the field for the vast majority of snaps? Those four guys really interesting to me because we did not get to see them last year, or we saw them for a very short amount of time. We're going to go ahead and transition to the players to watch. I got 2 on offense, 2 on defense that we got to talk about. We'll get into that in just a moment. This is the Locked On Sun Devils podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I want to talk to you about our friends over at Factor Meals. Fuel up with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals thanks to a menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. Make today the day that you kickstart that healthy routine. What are you waiting for? With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you'll always have new flavors to explore. Crush your wellness goals with dietitian-approved meals and ingredients you can trust. Make your day delicious from breakfast to dessert. Stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. Treat yourself to restaurant-quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, and blackened salmon. Keep kitchen time to a minimum. Factor meals are ready in 2 minutes. No shopping, prepping, cooking, or cleanup. Enjoy effortless support for your lifestyle. Choose up to 6 menu preferences to help manage your calories, maximum protein intake, avoid meat, or simply eat well balanced. Head to factormeals.com/lockedoncollege50 and use code lockedoncollege50 for 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code lockedoncollege50 at factormeals.com/lockedoncollege50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. Also want to talk to you about our friends over at eBay Motors. Passion, drive, patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle, level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED lights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because of the eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP. Bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. Wherever you get your shows, hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you get an update whenever we post new content. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and making us your first listen of the day. And a shout out to my everydayers who are here every day. Let's get back into our conversation. Take a look at some players to watch. 2 on offense, 2 on defense. We'll start with the obvious guy, Sam Leavitt, the new quarterback. I already talked about him a little bit, so I'll keep this brief. He's your signal caller. He is someone who beat out Jaden Rashada. He is someone that feels like a really good fit for this Kenny Dillingham offense. He looked great in spring. From what I am to understand, he looked great in training camp as well. There is a lot of talent here for him to maximize. There is a running game That should make everything a lot easier for him. There is an offensive line that should be able to keep him upright. There are wide receivers and tight ends who can make plays. Let's see how it pans out in week 1. Again, I really think that you need to just simplify the offense for, I would say, the first 3 weeks, get him through non-conference play, and then start to explore whether or not he can really open things up in year 1. But as far as week 1 goes, let's just see how he looks. Let's see how confident he is. Let's see how comfortable he is. Let's see how he distributes the football. I just want to see him look confident. At the end of the day, like, that is the bottom line from Sam Leavitt. I don't care if he throws 5 touchdowns. I don't care if he doesn't have any touchdowns. I just want to see him look confident, comfortable, composed. Second guy, Cameron Scattaboo. Come on. We all know that Scattaboo is the offense. Scattaboo, Scatta can, hopefully Scatta touchdown. He's a great runner. He can take it outside. He can take it inside. He makes guys miss. He's a really good pass catcher. And as we saw last year, he's Mr. Do-It-All. As I have called him before, he is the people's running back. He runs it. He catches it. He passes it. He punts it. He's Mr. Do-It-All. He's the people's running back, you guys. What's he looking like this year? Like I said, there's a lot of depth in this backfield. There are 6 running backs that you would be confident as your starter this year. Is he going to get a lion's share of the touches, or is this going to be a full-on committee? Is he going to get 20 carries, or is he going to get 15? Or even less than that, because you have Alton McCaskill, who is apparently going to be a beast this year. You've got Kyson Brown, who I believe is listed number 2 on the depth chart going into this game. You've got DeCarlos Brooks, someone that really has a niche role with the team where he can line up at fullback. You've got so many options going into this year. How big of the role is Scattaboo going to get? Now, for what it's worth, I still anticipate that Scattaboo is going to be a huge part of this offense. I would be shocked if he wasn't. But nonetheless, there's a chance that you just rotate a bunch of guys this year. And that could be a good thing. You know, you could end up seeing Scattaboo so healthy down the stretch of the year that he's just able to dominate when he does get out there. It's not a bad situation. Week 1, going to be interesting to see what the distribution is like, how the offense is divvied up when it comes to running the football, especially if they are run heavy like I expect them to be. Defensive side of the football, Keyshawn Elliott. I already mentioned him. Again, I don't want to take a ton more time going into detail with him, but he is your number 1 linebacker. He is going to be commanding this defense. The team is really high on him. The team is entrusting him in that Trey Brown role, where last year Trey was calling shots. I mean, you need that veteran linebacker, someone that has seen it all, done it all, and has a little bit of upside to do a little bit of everything. Keyshawn Elliott is that guy. How's he look? Because this is also year 1 for him, transferring in from New Mexico State. How quickly is he going to be a box score stuffer? And I do think he's going to be a box score stuffer this year. I will make a bold prediction now. I think he's going to be 100 tackles this year. Would not be surprised if he got a few sacks and a few turnovers as well. How quickly is that going to show up on the field? Week 1's a really good opportunity to advertise himself, especially because they could rotate linebackers early on in the year with Tate Romney out. Do not be surprised if we see a lot of Cyrus Fiaseu, if we see a lot of Jordan Crook, if we see Martell Hughes out there, Kavion Thunderbird. They've got options at linebacker. Is Keyshawn Elliott going to play 90% of the snaps, or is it going to be similar to Scattaboo, where they just rotate and see what works, see what doesn't work? Last guy I want to mention, Javen Robinson. Robinson ended up winning the number 1 corner position on this team over LT Welsh. someone I pumped up over the offseason. And similar to Xavier Guillory, I did not get to see him in training camp. Apparently, he dominated. So, congratulations to Jaden Robinson. Let's see how it ends up shaking out. But he is your number one corner. How's that going to look? How is he going to adjust? He was someone that was rotated a year ago when he was at Washington State, but he was recruited back when Brian Ward, the defensive coordinator, was at Washington State. So he's got some familiarity with the defense. How's he going to look? As far as Washington's passing game goes, I don't know who their number one receiver is, but Jaden Robinson is got a big task in front of him. He is being entrusted with being the next Roe Torrance of this defense, the guy who is going to be responsible for locking everything down. It's big shoes to fill. How's he look? That's what I'm curious about. Those are my 4 players that I'm going to be paying attention to specifically in this game. We're going to transition to the final part of the podcast. We got some bold predictions to make. Again, 2 on offense, 2 on defense, and I got a final score for you guys. We'll hop into that in just a moment. This is the Locked On Sun Devils podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Look, if you're tired after lunch, you're not alone. In fact, research shows that 70% of us hit a wall after lunch. Let a 5-hour energy shot help you leap over that wall instead of getting stuck and crashing into it. With 0 sugar and a convenient portable size, it's the perfect pick-me-up for getting stuff done. 5-Hour Energy website has flavors galore too. Watermelon, tropical burst, grape, berry, more than that. There's an option for everyone. Try them all. On the site, you can even build your own 12-pack or 24-pack. You choose the flavors. It's delivered right to your door. If you go to 5hourenergy.com, and that's the number 5hourenergy.com, get yourself some product. You can use my promo code LOCKEDONCFB. That's all one word, LOCKEDONCFB. Receive 20% off your order. This offer is only valid until September 30th. One order cannot be used with other promotions. The code is, it is not good with subscription orders. Go to 5hourenergy.com today. Promo code LOCKEDONCFB. This is the one that I'm really excited to talk to you guys about. Our friends over at Home Field Apparel. The 2024 season is upon us, and Home Field Apparel has you covered with their Can't Miss Kickoff 2024 campaign to get you geared up for the season. Home Field Apparel is a premium collegiate apparel brand based in Indianapolis with a focus on creating incredibly comfortable, officially licensed apparel with vintage college designs that cover more than 180 schools and counting for you to choose from, including Arizona State. It's products made by the college football fan for the college football fan. Check out the Can't Miss Kickoff 2024 campaign. They have all sorts of stuff like their football boxes, coaches' jackets, bomber jackets, and more. Those football boxes contain 3 never-before-seen items for your school that aren't available anywhere else. Curated so fans have new gear to wear all season long, and it's suitable for all weather conditions. So if it's hot outside, which we're used to, or maybe a monsoon comes through, you're going to be covered. Now's the best time to get in on Home Field Apparel. You can use my promo code ASU24 for 15% off your purchase. Go to homefieldapparel.com. Take advantage of all the great merchandise for Arizona State and other schools as well. Be prepared like nobody else with Home Field Apparel. Use promo code ASU24 for 15% off your first order with our good friends over at Home Field Apparel. One more time, I appreciate you guys for tuning in and making us your first listen of the day. Shout out to my everydayers who are here every day. Wherever you get your shows, hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you get an update whenever we post new content. Again, if you guys are looking for new apparel, please check out Home Field Apparel. Use the promo code ASU15 for 15% off your first order. It's vintage stuff. It's really cool stuff. I just talked about it. Make sure that you check it out. I got my stuff coming in. When it gets in, I will be sure to show you guys all the cool stuff that I was able to get. Let's go ahead and wrap up this edition of the show with some bold predictions. It's the best part of the show. 2 bold predictions on offense, 2 bold predictions on defense, and then a final score prediction for you as well. Starting on offense, I'm gonna keep it simple. Sam Leavitt is gonna manage the offense, 0 turnovers. Again, like I said, I don't know if it's 5 touchdowns from him. I don't know if it's 0 touchdowns from him. I'm gonna lean with the latter. I'm gonna say that Leavitt is just gonna be cool, calm, collective. I just that's all I'm looking for in week 1. I don't need him to put together some Heisman performance. I don't need him to absolutely light up the Cowboys. Now, is it cool if he does? Yeah, of course. You're probably going to crush the game if Sam Leavitt comes out and dominates for 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, 4, 5, 10, whatever. You just need him to manage the football game. That can be 150 passing yards. That can be 300 passing yards. That can be 200 total. That can be 150 total. You just need him to manage the game. Be run heavy. Go with Cameron Scadaboo. Give Scadaboo 25 touches this game. Make it as simple as possible so that Sam Leavitt can come in, have immediate success for this team. Show everyone, show the coaching staff, show his teammates, show the fans that you're going to be in good hands this year. That's all I'm looking for. ASU is going to rush for 200 yards in this game. Second bold prediction on offense. 200 rushing yards in this game. I'm going all in, baby. Scadaboo's going to dominate. I'll go ahead and say 100 yards for him. Alton McCaskill is going to get involved. You're going to have DeCarlos Brooks. I'll say that DeCarlos Brooks is going to find the end zone in this game. They just need to run the heck out of the football. As long as they do that, you're going to be in control of this game. You're going to control the clock, the time of possession, all that good stuff. You're going to be able to dictate the pace of the game. You get to those 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 3s, and you're just able to run the football. Take control of this game. Set the tone. ASU is going to run crazy in this game. 200 yards on the ground. Defensively, I'm going to say ASU, the pass rush is going to go crazy. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. I'm going to say 5 sacks for ASU. I'll go crazy and say Clayton Smith gets 2 of them. They've got options in this pass rushing room. ASU has Clayton Smith. Justin Wadley is going to be starting opposite him. Elijah O'Neal, I've been super high on him. I am convinced he's going to break out. He's going to be a factor this year. From the interior, CJ Fight has been working on his pass rushing skills. Does that come to fruition in week 1? He's looking for his first career sack. Maybe he dominates. Jeff Clark starting next to him. He's got some experience getting into the backfield as well. Zach Swanson, Jacob Rich-Kongaika, 2 other guys that I'm really excited about. 2 guys that are listed as or options on the team, which means we're going to see them a lot. They have got plenty of guys to rotate. Keyshawn Elliott, I've already said, I think that he's going to box score stuff this year. Maybe he's able to get home. ASU likes to blitz from the corner position as well. You could see the safeties get involved. They are just going to go crazy in the pass rush today. Like I said, 5 sacks for this team. And then maybe my boldest prediction, I'm going to say ASU's first turnover of the year comes from Kamari Wilson. And the reason why I'm going with Kamari, not only is he a really exciting player, not only is he a super talented player, one of the most talented players on this defense, I just have this sneaky feeling that ASU is going to do a lot of rotation at the safety spot. I don't know if anyone's going to play 60% of the snaps. I really do anticipate that ASU is just going to get guys out there. They're going to start the game with Xavier Alford and with Ghost Rouser. And then they're going to go, okay, Xavier, you're out. Kamari, get in there. Montana, get in there. Shamari's at nickel. We're going to move him to free safety for this. They're going to get creative. They're going to get guys all over the place. Kamari Wilson, super talented. Someone that I anticipate is going to be a secret weapon for the team this year. I don't know. Just bold prediction, gut feeling. I'm going to say Kamari Wilson gets the first turnover of the year for ASU. Might be the only turnover of this game. I'm going Kamari Wilson, just a gut feeling. Final score prediction. ASU is starting in the win column again this year, starting the year 1-0. I got ASU in this game 27-17. Nothing too crazy, not a high scoring game, just an efficient football game. Run the football, control the clock, have the pass rush dialed up, get home, make Wyoming uncomfortable. Control the game. You should be able to get this. Now, for what it's worth, Wyoming took down Texas Tech last year. This is not a gimme game. Wyoming is not an FCS opponent. They are not someone that we should be anticipating we're going to run over. In fact, this could be a really tough game. This could easily be a loss for ASU. A team that is retooling, has a brand new identity on offense. They very well could struggle in this game. They could lose this game. They're not gonna. I got ASU 27-17. What's your bold score? What's your score prediction? What are your bold predictions? Let me know in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter at Richie Brads36, the podcast at LO_Sun Devils, wherever you get your shows. Hit like, hit subscribe, turn on notifications so you get an update whenever we post new content. If you have not followed, if you have not subscribed on YouTube, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Help us get to 1,000 subscribers. One more time, want to shout out Home Field Apparel. If you're looking for new stuff, it's vintage, it's quality, it's fit for any weather condition. Check it out. ASU 24 at checkout for 15% off of your order. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We will be back on Monday to break down this game, hopefully with a win, hopefully hand out some game balls. I'll see you then. Till then, you keep it locked right here on Locked On Sun.